sorry. Carrie,
No!
Where the hell did Carrie go back to Big after he embarrassed her like that? Honestly, once you really look at that relationship, especially through the season 1 lens, it becomes almost academically clear that Carrie didn't go back because it made sense. She went back because she was already trapped in that exact dynamic that shaped the whole disaster from day one. And if you actually replay those early episodes, you can literally see the trap being built brick by dysfunctional brick. Carrie meets Big at the exact moment she feels artificially powerful. She's had a little, I'm in my Samantha era feeling with Kurt. Felt validated for 5 minutes, and then Big appears. She was walking around with this borrowed confidence, believing she'd finally cracked the male-coded independence thing. And then she runs into a man who is the complete opposite energy, older, controlled, charming, and inaccessible. He immediately destabilizes her without even trying. The pedestal goes up instantly. Her whole sense of agency evaporates, and suddenly she's back to performing, back to chasing validation, back to being the version of herself that needs to feel chosen. And Big, from the very beginning, thrives in that imbalance. Every interaction is a power move. The way he challenges her opinions just enough to make her feel small, but not enough to be outright rude. The half-smile, half-shrugged responses that let her fill the emotional blanks however she wants. Big learned early that Carrie will do the emotional gymnastics for the both of them. All he had to do was sprinkle the bare minimum of affection, and she'd build a romance novel out of it. You can't really understand why she kept going back unless you understand this. Carrie is addicted to validation, not love. She's addicted to feeling like the special one to a man she already decided was better than her. She doesn't want Big, she wants to win Big. She wants him to confirm her worth, fix her insecurities, make her feel like she's not invincible, not replaceable, not just another that is something in New York trying to convince herself she's exceptional. And Big knows he's exceptional to her. That's why he treats her with this smug, hands-off confidence. He knows he can reject Samantha, charm Carrie, then immediately undermine her by parading a model in front of her. He knows if he disappears for a couple of days, she'll spiral, then convince herself she overreacted. He knows he can pull up to her cafe, drop a single romantic line, and she'll forget every red flag from the night before. He knows the exact dosage of affection needed to reset her and keep her hooked without ever having to commit. The irony is that Carrie thinks she's analyzing relationships for a living, but she never analyzes the one she's in. She talks about dating like she's conducting research, but when it comes to Big, she abandons every piece of logic she claims to understand. She flips her beliefs constantly. Monogamy might be outdated, maybe marriage isn't important, maybe she's paranoid, maybe she's lucky, all depending on which version makes Big's behavior heartless. And that's exactly why she goes back. Because going back is easier than admitting the truth. She picked a man who made her feel inferior from the very first conversation. She doesn't want to confront the fact that she built her identity around being chosen, and Big never actually chose her. He just never fully discarded her. She wants the story, the fantasy, the emotional high of Big showing up at the party, that somehow override weeks of emotional neglect. Big knows how to play the role of the man who could love you, if you just hold on a little longer. And Carrie is a perfect audience for that performance. Let's not pretend Big is some misunderstood softie. He's emotionally manipulative in a subtle but polished way. He withholds information until it's convenient. He finesses arguments by staying calm while she spirals. He hides behind his vagueness. Could be, maybe, someday. He frames everything as Carrie's overreaction while providing just enough intimacy to keep her confused. He acts like the reasonable one when he's actually the cause of the confusion. He's the classic, I didn't lie, I just let you believe what you wanted. But Carrie also participates in her own undoing. She wants to feel like the exception. She wants to be the woman who fixed the man who couldn't be tied down. She wants to feel superior to his ex-wife, to the models, to every woman who came before her, to every woman she sees him with. Every time he doesn't choose her, she doesn't walk away. She actually doubles down. She rewrites her values. She manipulates herself into believing whatever version of Big's story keeps the fantasy alive. She doesn't leave when he humiliates her by failing to introduce her. She doesn't leave when he humiliates her by not showing up to the wedding. She goes back because she needs the version of Big that only exists in her head to be real. She goes back because the alternative, that she spent all this time chasing a man who never wanted her the way she wanted him, was too painful to face. She goes back because every moment of embarrassment, every insecurity, every gut feeling she ignored, all of it only becomes worth it if Big eventually validates her. And that's why, despite everything, despite the embarrassment, despite her friends telling her she deserves better, despite the entire world seeing what she refuses to see, she runs back the second he gives her even an ounce of attention. It's that Carrie chose the version of herself she becomes when Big looks at her like she matters. And once she tasted that version, she was willing to endure anything to feel it again. She went back because she needed the fantasy more than she needed self-respect. Thank you for watching this video. Please tell me your comments down below. What do you think of the relationship between Biggie and Carrie? Do you hold the same sentiments as me? Tell me your thoughts down below. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.